Well. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hope we're all doing good. So I'm not gonna have a massive, really long roll into the intro. I'm gonna go get some nice, icy, cool drink. This summer is crazy. I've got lots to talk about today. Some days when we start a stream, I'm pent up and I'm ready. I'm ready for some discussion. I got screenshots of comments from my spam folder. I've got, Reddit threads in mind. I've got this and that. However, today, we've been already engaging in a ton of super serious business conversation. And, I don't know, we'll probably take the stream a little bit more relaxed. There'll be all kinds of things coming up. But suffice it to say, I just watched England get through to the semis on a scorching hot, amazing summer day. And I want to chill out. So, I will see you guys very soon. We're going to be doing the last of the Kourna exploration and have all kinds of good fun. So, stick about. You can ask your comments and whatnot, and I'll respond to them in just a moment. See you guys soon. All right, I'm back. I see that comment. Who is that just said that? Who is that? Untag me from this. What was this? Where was it? We should devote this stream entirely to talking shit about England. But you don't understand. Now that my country is doing well, I'm like a massive fan of England. So you can't do that anymore. You could have a few weeks ago. I would have talked all about how we're terrible and there's nothing to be proud of and that I never believed in them. But now I'm a lifelong devoted fan and I've never given up on the boys, on the lads. I think they're doing a great job. And, you know, Pickford really saw us through it today. And I will not tolerate any naysaying, all right? That is how to be a sports fan. Lessons to learn here from the great multifaceted one says. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It was probably a really boring game, to be honest. For a quarterfinal match, it was very, very... I mean, I was obviously extremely invested and happy with the way it went. But it felt like too safe and comfortable and like there wasn't any drama or, you know, compare that to our Colombia bout before in the best of 16. It was seriously smooth sailing, which I'm thankful for from one perspective, but I can imagine outsiders, those damn neutrals. What would make someone turn to a life of neutrality? A lust for power? Whatever, it makes me sick. Those people probably would have been a bit bored by that game. Switzerland's been out for a while now, so you're for England? Well, yeah, we just got Sweden, who got Switzerland, right? So, I am really excited, though. It is very, very, very cool. And I don't know whether we'll do this well again in my life, given England's record, so it's kind of nice. I genuinely, to toot my own horn for real for a second, I am really kind of happy and thrilled with myself that I got super into this World Cup way back when, like in the earliest of the group stages. I wasn't interested when people were qualifying, granted. But, I mean, I've really followed it very closely the whole way through. And it just so happens to be a World Cup that, you know, there's a good reason to as an England fan. So it's quite cool. I think this was our first, for what it's worth, I genuinely don't think we did anything impressive or well all tournament. I think it's been luck of the draw, who we've been against and whatnot. I think Belgium B team versus England B team, and we didn't do very well there either, but you can't draw much from that. I do think that today's game, though, was our first really convincing, like, hey, we did all right. So, yeah. A couple of... Well, look, I'm not going to turn this into a massive football stream, but it's good stuff. I'm really happy. And obviously, I just got done watching the game, so... Also, BBC Ultra HD is amazing. iPlayer, iPlayer is not on the same planet as ITV, and it's so annoying that next game ITV are going to be covering, and I'm going to get nowhere near as good quality from it or any of that. ITV also has a bit of a curse in this country, in that whenever they cover a knockout stage game, we lose it. Which only just got broken, like, last week. That was the first time that ITV's done it for ages, and that's not happened. I think once in Euros, ITV covered a game and we didn't lose. So it's a bit scary. But we'll see. We don't even know who we're against yet. That will be determined after this stream. If you two are following the World Cup, once this stream's over, it'll be kickoff right away for the next game. That will be Russia-Croatia, isn't it? Am I wrong about that? And that's determining who we'll be against in the semis. All right. So, Gordon says, discussion of this episode's ending when? There you go. That's my life. Don't talk about that, WP. Talk about lore. Tell me about the story. Okay, so Gordon121. The answer to that is today we're going to be doing some more stuff in Kourna because I haven't finished my exploration of the map. Then, once that's done, we will, starting from tomorrow, have more of a look at the other aspects of the patch, mainly the story. And we'll be doing a playthrough of that right there. You're not allowed to like sports, WP. You're a nerd, or is this another facet? Listen to me. Listen, I want to make this extremely clear. I'm not now suddenly a big football fan, and you're not going to find me after this World Cup probably caring about this sport on a club level. I'm a fair weather fan. I'm everything I loathe when it comes to Guild Wars 2 fans. But for football, I know I will not care that much once this is over. I've been interested in the entire institution of the World Cup, beyond just England, so there's that at least, but it won't last that long. Once this World Cup's over, you probably won't hear me talk about it again for another 4 years. And then I'll be back. I'll be back. So yeah, just Freck, looking at chat a little bit more here. I will squad up, by the way, if you guys want to play with me. I don't even know what region I'm on. From my ping, I can tell I'm on NA. So if you guys want to play with me, you're more than welcome. I will put a sign on screen for you all now. I don't have any like major advertisements or anything for this stream right now, so it's totally fair game. You'll have a you'll be able to get in basically. But all you have to do is go in game and type in your chat box /squad join list. Let me tweet out that I'm live. There we go. And yeah, let me get to chat. So what did people say? Just Freg said, am I going to make a video about the Ask Me Anything? Yeah, I am. Here's a dirty little secret. I haven't even read the AMA. So, well, let me do a very quick sign for everyone on Wooden Potatoes 2 who don't know what the middle of this stream is couched in. This stream I'm doing the same day I uploaded my video on the big Jessica Price controversy situation. So, the channel has been in a bit of a storm at the moment. There's a big Reddit thread. There are hundreds and hundreds of comments thrown around about this entire thing. If you're so out of the loop on it as a Wooden Potatoes 2 watcher, you don't even know what that is. That is 2 devs got fired, regrettably so, I think, in terms of the talent they probably brought to the company. And I did a video talking about it. So everyone's talking about all that stuff at the moment. And we did our big kind of discussion. That whole controversy seems like the bed that came from was the Ask Me Anything. Jessica was talking about narrative on the Ask Me Anything, then she went to Twitter to give further thoughts, and everything went as it did. But the AMA itself, which in some ways you might say triggered all of this, I haven't even read. I don't know what Jessica said on that AMA. I really don't. I've not seen it. I don't know if Peter Freeze was in that AMA. I don't know who was there. I don't know what was talked about. I know that one of the, I can't remember, it might have been Tentan Hammer, was really snarky about Guild Wars. And you might say fairly so. It's up to you, obviously, your opinion. But one of their lines was a predictably bland AMA. So, I mean, it could have been predictably bland, to be honest. Some of them are a little bit bland. But yeah, I haven't actually read it. I will do a video on it, though. And also, another thing that's quite fascinating I've seen people talking about is yesterday there was a guild chat. Now, I did watch the guild chat, but it was while France was playing. So I had it on mute. So I was just watching them in the background. But the reason I watched last night's guild chat was because I had been informed that after last night's guild chat, the Guild Wars 1 giveaway was going to be concluded, which I didn't win, by the way. 7 winners. There were about 60 of us that entered, I think, something like that. So I had a 1 in 10 chance of getting a full set of skill pins. Other people got it, and I'm pretty sad. But yeah, so I was watching guild chat just to see when the stream would end, so I'd know if I won the Guild Wars 1 giveaway. Didn't. But that was this weekend's guild chat. Last weekend's, Peter was on it, apparently. Now, I don't know whether people can give me more insights to that, because I didn't see it. But apparently he was on it, and he was really excited, and he was talking about Joko and all this stuff. And that's going to be quite extraordinary. I'm going to go back and watch that, because it's like, wow, look at this happy dev with his nice, secure, comfortable job, talking about the work he's been passionate on. Boom, little will he know, 6 days later, it's all over. So I've got like a morbid curiosity to me that now makes me extra compelled to go back and watch that guild chat. I don't know how many anecdotes really came from it, but what I'm in a very roundabout way of trying to say is I might watch all of these things and compile them into one roundup video. Oh, and Jessica was on the Bug in the System guild chat. Was she now? I'll have to watch that too. One thing I think I missed from my video is I was thinking of going back to their streams and actually putting footage of them in my video, because there's kind of a thing going on right now where it's really easy to hate on Jessica. And again, I'm not talking about, you might feel perfectly justified. I'm not trying to take that away from people. It's really easy to hate on Jessica, and it's really easy to hate on Peter. Like, if you hear the way that people talk about Peter specifically, I mean, it's amazing. Like, they throw all these like ridiculous terms out that you would just never, like, I don't think they quite realize the age and the temperament, and that this is an individual. They in no way have got, like, it's easy to hate on people just through a couple of messages you see on Twitter. There really is a very real thing where people don't realize there are humans behind the keyboards. And I know that's kind of one of those waffly, like, happy-go-lucky dumb things people say all the time, but it's so evident from this. And I knew it was evident from this even before I made my video. And what I was considering doing was finding streams that Pete has been in, where he's goofing around talking about the Wizard's Tower, and finding streams that Jessica had been in, though I wasn't sure if she'd been in any. And I was thinking of editing those in just so that as people watch my video, they wouldn't have that accidental shield, if you will, because that would temper. You know, I can go on the internet and say, oh, a real person with a real job and a real family just lost their job, and someone will say, don't care, you should never be mean on the internet, you're allowed to lose it. You know, someone might snap that. They'll be much less inclined to snap that out if I'd taken the time on the video to show the human being. And I think that would have been an interesting thing, that would have been a quality bump, just for the not because I have some specific agenda I'm trying to secure with that. I just think it would have led to more objectivity from people, which is really all I'm striving to do when I do a production like that. But I didn't in the end because I'm lazy. Half because I'm lazy and I didn't want to do the research, half because I thought it might bum me out a little bit, and also half, great maths I know, because it's kind of a time-sensitive thing. Like, literally every few minutes while I was... It took me a long time to script it. It took me about 5 or 6 hours to script that video. And there was, like, stuff kept pouring in. You know, like, the Kate Welch tweets were coming in right up to the last minute. The quotes from the Kotaku article came in while I was right at the end of production. And I sort of felt like, Christ, I've got to get this out, otherwise it's never going to end. So I didn't put the extra F in. Yeah, the math of man, bear pig. But I thought that would have been an interesting facet in the service of doing a good production. WP, you dealt closer with these people, so you're biased in that way, but the masses that make Guild Wars 2 feel a very specific way about this. Yeah, I mean, there's that as well. Like, one of the other really tricky things for me, just talking about it. I mean, I'm not the most interesting person to listen to on this. You guys have got to understand. Anyone watching me right now, you're missing out. You've got... DeRaw himself is a content creator and has had statements on this stuff. Inks was very closely involved with this stuff, is a content creator, and you can hear it from them. I mean, really, my opinion doesn't mean shit so much to anyone else. There's not so much I can go on to. But one other anecdote about me being close to all of this that I found really quite tricky, is knowing there's a chance some of those devs might watch it, and some of those devs might be thinking about my opinion, and, you know, that adds this whole other layer. There were a lot of, I've called them vultures many times, and I'm very rude really about them, but, you know, there are kind of tacky, let's not be offensive. There are people who make a living out of covering this stuff on YouTube and traditional sites, right? And they just zerg to it, and they just do it, and they don't know anyone, they don't have any real say, they just regurgitate what they've heard and they move on very quickly. It's not important to them, it's about the clicks, and they jump from topic to topic so fast they never have to be accountable when they're wrong, right? This is a thing. This is what gaming journalism is in our modern day on the internet. And so tons of them people have descended on the scene and seized upon this wonderful opportunity to get a few quick clicks off of you. But one thing I will say in their defense is they can be a little bit more impartial than me when it comes to that stuff. Like, there's almost no chance a dev would bother watching them or reading too deeply into their articles necessarily. But for me, there is that other slight little thing where I'm like, you know, sometimes they do talk about having watched my stuff. Sometimes I am a little bit, and that is on my mind. It's quite tricky. In fact, to the extent, I will even give you some very specific detail here. All right, I won't name drop them. I don't have the balls to name drop them. But after I did my video, I threw up a tweet saying, right, guys, it's made. I'm going to render it out. Okay. And as soon as I put that tweet out saying I'm rendering a video on the big controversy, get ready, kind of thing. As soon as I did that tweet, I got a follow from an ArenaNet dev. And I won't specifically name them, but I saw that immediately. I was like, oh, man. Yeah, this is, and you know, there's that level to it, and so all I can do is give you my word that I tried to be as impartial and objective as possible. But you know, that will affect me. That will. The way I script things probably makes me slightly less of an asshole, if anything, which might be good. But you know, it's there. It's to consider. And the vultures, as so to speak, you won't have that conflict of interests, if you will. You won't have it there. AWP, nice tits. Video wasn't bad. Really, it wasn't bad. How can I help you? How can I improve the video? Please tell me. I didn't mean to give the impression I never like feedback, by the way. The truly ironic thing is, people, here's a sweet ass little plug. People who follow me on the website Patreon get early access podcast versions of many of the videos I do. And if you're on Discord and a member of Patreon, you'll get a notification. So I actually notified over 60 of my most dedicated fans that they had early access to that video about 6 to 7 hours before it was publicly available on YouTube. And I specifically said to them, hey, if you guys want to listen to it early, tell me what you think. I'd like to know if I've made any roaring mistakes so I can prevent disaster beforehand. So the great irony of that video is I did ask for feedback on that video. I did go to my little corner of the internet. I did utilize my happy little echo chamber just to make sure that everything was okay. I was seeking other opinions. Wait, that's a nice little perk from Patreon. Good little plug. My comment section for the video is really great. Lots of honest discussions. Yeah, it's been weird, though. It was really, really solid. I had to moderate. I had to remove about 3 comments from just morons. You can imagine the kind of idiots and the kind of vocabulary that comes out with these discussions, right? I had to moderate about 3 comments in the first 2 to 3 hours. That's it. Right? 3 comments out of what was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. That's good. Like, I have a post on Reddit right now where I'm just saying to people, hey, by the way, discourse has been pretty awesome. Like, this is cool, you know. And that's what, if I'm proud of anything on YouTube, it's not really my body of work as well. No, I'm proud of the body of work, but it's also my comments and stuff. I really, really do like it. And I was like, this is awesome. I've hardly had to moderate at all for the first 2 to 3 hours. We're now about 6 to 7 hours in now, and very oddly, there was kind of a middle ground where, I mean, there really was a lot of lunacy that just appeared out of nowhere. And I don't know what it was. And I had to moderate quite heavily after that. I've purged maybe 3 or 4 full comment chains of just dimwits screaming at one another. Here's a little insight that will promptly fall out of all of your heads and isn't relevant to any of your lives. But if you've ever been curious, YouTube comments are most toxic when YouTube commenters talk to one another and not otherwise. If they're just comments in a vacuum, they tend to be okay. But it's the second YouTube commenters respond to one another, people get unbelievably defensive and are paranoid and attacked and just become like toddlers, just really, really quickly. What you'll find, it's amazing as well, because you'll find like these really quite intelligent, nuanced comments at the start of comment threads. And then once some replies start going, people do these incredible 180s. You wouldn't think it's the same human being that posted the start of the comment chain to later on. Like, the second people feel like they're being questioned, they crumble. I don't know whether it's a cultural thing and people of certain countries do it because they're very... I don't know what it is, but there is definitely... That's when discourse gets bad. It's when people respond to each other in YouTube comments. That's where, like, the lunacy appears. But in general, if that's not happening, it's okay. Which is kind of disheartening if you really think about it, because all that demonstrates is that people don't know how to hold civil conversations. They're okay when they're in their own headspace, but the second it becomes a conversation, it gets very charged. And I know I'm talking about this as though I'm exempt. I'm probably just as bad. But yeah, generally it's been pretty good. So exactly what happened on Twitter. Maybe, yeah, maybe a little bit, yeah. God, it'd be so interesting to be a sociologist that, like, now, really, and going forward, especially if you specialize in looking how internet cultures work. And so, I mean, it is truly incredible. Like, there's this whole facet of humanity that I feel like is unlocking, that has just never had a chance to manifest. Millions of years of evolution, and we get to this point, and it's like... You know, it's like we've just researched psionics in Solaris, and now, like, we're entering the shroud, guys. It's amazing. All right. I'm going to be less of a nerd now. What else is going on? These types of discussions are why it takes us multiple streams to explore Kourna. These conversations are also why we all come here. It's true. I should probably actually explore Kourna a little bit. I'll leave the chat up for a second. Anything else that's going on? WP, what's happening with the distant mountains? The game, how say that they so blurry? It's because I run depth of field. And I also have fog completely off right now, but that's only because I was raiding in Wing 5 in the dark room. And I wanted to turn the fog. So this is what the game looks like by default. Very murky, moody, atmospheric. And then when we use Guild Wars 2 hook, we can pull the fog back and we can change the lighting and basically sabotage the developer, the environment artist vision for the map. So I tend to have fog at about 0.8 or 0.7, which gives me their artistic side, but also you do get a bit more draw distance. But yeah, it's kind of up to you. The fog is adjustable without restarting Guild Wars 2 hook now. Jules, it's been like that for maybe 9 months. Seriously, a long time. Why have we been on the Raptor all the time? There's a Beetle to show. There is another little spotlight I want to do on today's stream. Like I said, it's going to be a bit of a chill stream. You guys can stay there in Kourna. Now, there have been a few videos showing off race courses in guild halls. Some of them are really impressive. The first one I saw was Deraw was doing a stream. And then I saw a couple of others. It seems some guilds are really going for it. Like this whole build a race course in the sky and stuff. Now, apparently, Ferenir is making one for Spud. And I haven't looked yet, but I've got to find it because I'm really excited. Now, I'm kind of hoping that they've just started it at the Upper Plaza like I did. They have! Oh, this is hype. Oh, I've never played this. I wonder how far it goes. Oh, this is so cool. Because, I mean, humble brag. Not even humble brag. This is just a brag. Spud is literally like the guild with the most decoration investment in all of Guild Wars 2. So, what we could accomplish with the right creativity and manpower is bonkers. And I'm really excited to see what we've got. So, let's see. Is it a loop? Are there shortcuts? We're not going to do a full roller build stream. I do want to get to the story, so that does mean finishing Kourna. So let's go. Let's see what we got, shall we? Oh, this is good. I went along these rope bridges before and thought this would be a great course. Oh my god, look, is there actually a choice into which room we go through? Oh, baby. Guys, we obviously have a lot of funds for give. Oh, no, it's a ramp! Oh, I should have boosted. I didn't realize it was a ramp. Start on the upper platform. All right. Apparently, I need to start higher up. You're totally cool with watching me do this all day. Oh, so is that just halfway through the race? Oh, wait. This is the start, is it? Oh, there's a chest there. Oh, and just the end of the chest. All right, here we go. Oh, I'm excited. Do I start with 0 endurance? It's not going to work, is it? What we need is a starting line that doesn't require max endurance. Or I don't know, because competitively minded, everybody's... No, yeah, that doesn't require max endurance, and then everybody has to ride. Oh, God. I don't want to fail that trick. Whoa! No! Oh, no! Oh, I'm pretty excited about this. Let's keep our endurance high here. Oh, but now I have to jump on the Beetle. Oh, I don't want to give up my boost. Get over there. No, this is not what I imagined it to be. Let's try over here. There we go. I see we're still getting max usage of the SAB set. The SAB set is without a doubt one of the most impressive things that Dev's done. So I'll hold my boost until I get to the bottom of the ramp. That should give me maximum. So I've got to do major trickage here. There we go. Yeah. Oh, no, that's way too much, man. I didn't even need that boost that time. Oh, this is too high skill cap. Yeah, it would just have come back by the time I got off the Beetle. It's correct. But now that I've learnt, see, now I'm getting paid. I'm not going up there because I can just boost. What's the point? Okay. It seems like some varieties of tricks. I'm not going to boost there because... Oh, why didn't my thing work? Oh, this is good. Oh, we're supposed to go up the bridge, are we? Oh, I should have done more. Oh my god, it takes you into the mine? No way! Oh, this is awesome. Oh my god. Oh, what? That's possible? Oh, wow. Oh, this is really interesting. I like the uphill stuff. You guys might think, oh, this sucks, but you know with the right resource management, that's like going to be a really profound part. It's kind of like Sonic. It's amazing how much the sort of the gameplay flow of this feels like Sonic to me. In that it's all about keeping the pace. This is a beautiful course. Okay, go, 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 gotta get over that. Oh! One trick. Oh no, they're requiring I do 2 tricks. We made it just about. Just about. It's okay. It's okay, everybody. How do you even begin to concept a road like this? This is great. We drifted there. That's not good. This is going to be a cool race. Oh, and is this the end now here with the chest? Sorry, that's my tweet deck. There we go, and that's the end. That's cool. I like using the chest as a finish line as well. Can you guys imagine if there was Guild Wars 1 style alliances with Guild Hall Visitation, and you could basically, you know, we had that idea of doing a Tyria cross-continental race in stages. You could have the stages idea, but it would be different Guild Halls have got different courses. You know, maybe one takes you across in the sky and across the airship. Maybe one's in the sky of the Lost Precipice. One's in the sky of the Gilded Hollow. One's doing the bowl around the Windswept Haven. And on and on and on. That'd be great. All right, anyway. Good stuff. Great feature. Let's see how the community reacts to it. I don't have the portal tome on me, apparently. Right. So, going back to Kourna, I believe what we have left to do is basically the northern areas, isn't it? We got that village to go to. We have the Choya to hang out with. We did the Hecate. And I think also we have the Corsairs. We have the Corsair heart. And yeah, that's about it. The problem with that is the maps won't stay that way for a long time. What do you mean? Yes, this is NA today, Nosh. This is NA. Thanks very much, Megasword. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. And despite what I suggested in that, for that one, I am still looking forward to any juicy feedback and comments people have on that. I really am. It's an interesting topic to me still. I have to say, a lot of people thought I would never touch that. One of the biggest responses I've had. Let's start at the Veiled Runner Drifts, because there's not much going on there. And I think it's... basically, we can just get it done while I ramble about this. So, one of the big responses I had was people thinking, oh, WP, I didn't think you'd touch it. And I think I gave a really weird impression to people with Mount Gate, which was the last sort of big controversy I was being asked to cover. With Mount Gate, I think I made it really, really, really clear. I didn't really want to make that video. I didn't really identify with most of the community outrage. The fact that the gem stall sucks and is a compromise against our fun was not news to me. And I didn't view the skin system as they did it as a particular deviation. And I was kind of begrudgingly make that video. I talked about the rock and the hard place I was in, that it feels like that I was accused of being a shill and an apologist if I didn't touch on it, and, you know, that I felt forced. And I talked a lot about that with Mount Gate, to some resistance, but a lot of understanding. And so now that this one's come out, I think a lot of people have basically thought, oh, WP doesn't like doing these videos at all. But this, you guys have got to understand, it's not that it's because it's a video on a controversy and it's kind of a touchy thing and it takes a lot of emotional effort to do a video like that and work and blah, blah, blah. It's not that. It's that Mount Gate had fundamental things that kind of put me off about it and I just didn't feel aligned with. This topic is really important, I think, to me, and I find myself having a lot to say, you know, and it is news. It is a crazy out of the blue development, and it involves a lot of people I know and who are in similar positions to me, you know. That could have, a lot of people have made this point. What happened with Duror there, engaging with a narrative dev that he looks up to on Twitter, if I wasn't such an introvert, that could have easily been me that said that, and easily been me that got chewed out. Easily been me that got called a random asshat and blah blah, and you know, so you know, I can't ignore stuff like that. These are all reasons that it's quite an interesting topic to me. And then of course the actual ramifications that has on the game as well. So this was kind of a no-brainer for me to cover. So hopefully people sort of understand. It's not that I shy away from that stuff. Another thing as well was. You know, it's not like I shy away from being mad either. I actually, so here's something fun for you all. with this video, I have now decided, and this makes me very sad in some ways that we've come to this. I've now decided I've done enough videos on YouTube about ridiculous outrages and controversies and mobs and stuff like that. I've now done enough videos on that I can playlist them. So that's what I did. I went through all of my entire history on this website. 7 years. Well, not this website, not Twitch, YouTube. And I compiled all the times that I've had to talk, basically sit down with the community and be like, all right, let's unpack what's going on. And I have a 10-episode playlist now, which is quite wittily called, what did I call it? The playlist, the show, if you will, the playlist is called Biased and Uninformed. And the description of the series of videos is occasionally the internet gets mad and I get mad with them. So this playlist features today's 2 developers were just fired, Mount Gate from a few months ago, the leaking from a few months before that, my massive rant about their cancellation of legendary weapons, which I'll remind you was me raging with the mob and getting egg on my face later with the mob because the devs ended up pulling through. The discussion on all the controversy when Colin Johansson quit before that. The controversy when Dungeon economy was looked at and shifted and they basically stopped developing them. The controversy when people were talking about not pre-purchasing Heart of Thorns and that veterans weren't being rewarded enough when the expansion was announced. The controversy when people did all that scary-ass doxing on some poor guy when I went to the Heart of Thorns event, and my concerns about how I fanned the flames with Jebro on the beach. That controversy I did much earlier about how people were whining about the quality of the story, and we're talking about how Scarlet's bad, and I said, hold on, Scarlet is a scapegoat. It's a lot of other stuff at play. And one of the earliest controversies, you guys probably won't remember at all at this point, but way back, there was some copyright strikes being pulled on content creators back in the early days before Guild Wars 2 even came out. They were pulling footage from conventions or audio or something. And I talked a little bit about that because I was successfully on YouTube covering the game and everyone had all these dumb, gross, exaggerative ideas about how ArenaNet handles copyright. And they've always been awesome about creating creators, whether you're a partner or not. They don't pull you for using their music. They don't pull you for using their trailers. If you look at my videos, I wholesale just rip their trailers and put it on my channel. And they've never once, it's not because I'm a partner, they've never once complained about that. And people were like mad at them. So that was the first time I ever really talked about that. I've obviously talked about a lot of other things to do with bias, and like I had the competition results, which a lot of people enjoyed, and I've had other, let's be snobby enough to call them intellectually driven pieces. That almost makes me cringe just saying. But you go, I mean, I've got other like essays, if you will, but those don't appear in this series because this series is more about the internet going nuts. And I've got 10 of them now. So there you go. And yeah, so people who thought I wasn't going to do this just because I was not comfortable with Mount Gate, you'll probably see more of this as the years go by. I mean, I ended my production today saying that, and I really do believe it. I think this will continue to accelerate. Especially the more that Mo and others signal to Reddit, to outside communities. Yeah, kick up a stink, I'll listen. Trust me. Trust me. Upvotes have power. Let's do it, baby. And that's a scary thing, but I really do believe it's what's being telegraphed. I wanted you to know that I have repurchased and plan to play Guild Wars 1 from the beginning solely because of your old LP. Thanks, man. That's awesome. Make an entire video in my whiny voice. Someone said, I was hoping in this video you do like your woman voice. You know, when I'm Let's Playing, if there's like a lady character, I'll put on like a shrill voice just to be funny. And I was like, oh my god, no, that made me laugh to think that I'd do something like that. Not in a serious topic. Because that would actually be very much construed as misogyny. Oh, thank you very much, Corey. Corey, are you called Corey on YouTube? If you are, you're one of the people I've been moderating your comments. Just by the way. I've removed a few comments from someone called Corey over on YouTube because they're just being too much of a prick to other people and making them sound like a 14-year-old in the language they use. So I removed a few of them. If that is you there. As far as I know, we're all here for your tits. Yeah, people really enjoyed that line. It's funny as well because normally I err on the side of caution with that stuff, but I thought, you know what? If people can't take a joke at all, I mean, they're off a deep end that I can't help bring them back from. So that wasn't me. I haven't said anything. Okay, well there you go. Fair enough. I think the whole drama got Guild Wars 2 the most coverage across gaming and not related to gaming websites Twitter since release. People tried to punch ArenaNet, but we are living in times where someone can easily make simple research on the internet or just go into comments and grasp on the real story. If anything, people stand by ArenaNet. It is fun. What, I mean, people say that, right? I don't care if Guild Wars is in the news because of this kind of stuff. Guild Wars should be in the news because of the game, because of the content and the quality of the gameplay. That's when you want people to be talking about the game. As fluffy and stupid and small as it is, stuff like when people geek out over the Raptor idle animations, that means a lot more. You know, there is a side to the whole story right now where people are like, oh, Mo, the game director, what a legend, awesome. He did this thing straight away. He fired these people instantly. That's awesome. And I just think, you know, no matter where you come down on ethics of that, blah, 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 the morality, the pragmatism of that, like, is that actually gonna now mean that Guild Wars gets a lot more profit and sales and customers? And you might say, oh yeah, look at all the people who said they're buying gems now. Like, that doesn't matter. A couple of pity gems from a few people riding the high of you know, that they're happy this decision's been made. That won't be there next week. That won't be there in 2 weeks. At the end of the day, it's about the game itself that we should really care about, that our energy should be in. That's why on my video I talked as much as I did about the content of Jessica's initial post, because it's the game that matters. It's the discussion about the content. That's why at the end I dedicated, even if I don't have anything profound to say about it, I dedicated a section to talking about how this may actually affect the quality of the story, because this is all just trivial BS. Yes, it's entertaining and fun, but you know what, like, if you want to relish in that kind of stuff, there's so many other arenas you can go to. Honestly, I don't think this done anything good for ArenaNet or Guild Wars. Anything. I don't think you're going to see anyone who's like, oh yeah, they're really good, no-nonsense devs, though, you know, blah, 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 because they fired a couple of guys. It's so tangential, and it's bullshit, and it's not the way I want the world to be, but it is. Someone left a comment on YouTube saying, it's a shame because if Jessica hadn't gone off like a lunatic, we could have had a really good discussion about the narrative and blah, blah, blah. And first of all, I question that. I don't know whether any Twitter conversation ever enact any real change. I mean, it's not the place where you... Stephen Fry has an amazing quote from many years back, where I think he went on like the Graham Norton show or something. He said, because he gets this on, well, I think he might have quit now, but he was talking about how people always get in his face on Twitter, and he just came out with the point. He said, it's Twitter, the clue is in the name. It's about little quips and small comments and concise things. It's not about actual change or discussion. It's not long discussioner. It's Twitter. It's not a place where you're gonna get much great discussion in the first place. But back to my original point, I think Steven was bang on with his description there. Someone said, oh, this is a shame because we could have had a great conversation, but she just torpedoed it with this insanity. And I sort of think, no, but we wouldn't have. Nothing would have, even if you could have had a good conversation, even if there had been amazing back and forth, nothing would have happened there because there wouldn't have been any focus. If she had just turned around and talked about narrative in MMO, even though she would have been talking to a fan, no one would have paid attention, because the fact is nobody actually cares that much about Guild Wars 2's narrative capabilities and moving it further. Broader communities, r/all, and all the people you see currently interacting, probably watching this stream and listening to me right now, all of you lot, you don't actually care. What you want is the drama. And you'll kick up and say, no, it's important. It's not just because I like the drama. It's because I need to be on this crusade and it's supposed to be important. But face it, it's because it's juicy gossip. And people care more about sexism and people being abhorrent and dickheads to one another in the internet. People care more about internet fights and spats than they do about the content. And I truly, desperately hate that. I really hate that that is the world I live in. I mean, I feel more kindred to Deraw than anyone else on the scene, really, in some ways, because his entire story with this was, hey, let's talk about the story of Guild Wars 2, and you know, in some ways, that's the purest thing I can relate to of everything everyone said. So, yeah. I mean, that's the real shame. If there had been a real discussion, no one would have listened to it. Deraw might have had fun. I doubt anyone else would have cared much. Maybe you would have had another few diehards nodding along. We might have had people like Cossage in our stream chat saying, oh, there was an interesting Twitter conversation, by the way, and linked it. And I would have gone, oh, yeah, that's kind of cool. And that would have been it. You've proven yourself a friend of our tribe in a time where we need every friend we can make. Thank you for helping our community. Now, we did this on the last stream, but I wanted to do it again here just while we waffled. Thanks to you, we have food, and we have hunters to hunt for more. I hope things continue to improve the tribe. May I have a look at that? We can get more inscribed shards, which also finishes our daily, which gives us more. You got the mini Hecate and the Choya dance tonic. Now, this Choya dance tonic, you might think, well, hold on, what's going on with Choya? Well, we've seen the Choya attack the Hecate here, and we've heard a little bit of the dialogue that they have. Well, now we're going to go north, and we're going to find the Choya on quite a fast repeating event. So this is the Bitterfly Bayou. And what I'll note is this area of the map is a portion, and so is the north, the Veiled Runner Drifts, I think, of what was once known as the Dejarin Estate in Guild Wars 1, which is really thrilling to me. You would have thought, since Kos was a bit of a character early in the season, and now we're back at the Dejarin Estate, this is his family homestead. Kos, as a hero, had several quests there related to that area of the world in Guild Wars 1, where you can choose to help out and sort some things out for them. You would have thought that since they... And Kosan, as well, was in Path of Fire itself in the Desolation, that maybe in this episode they would have done something interesting with that. But as far as I can tell, it's just kind of this swamp, and I haven't found anything at all. The other thing I'll note is my speculation from the trailers was utterly wrong. I thought that these were going to be like the ancestor trees, but we're nowhere near the ancestor trees. The ancestor trees were like up here, or the tree, if you will, that the centaurs were looking after, and the Sylvari connection and all that stuff. A bit of a weird thing. I was just talking about one of my old videos. It's weird, because I made that video around the same time as I was doing Nightfall and talking about those trees, and the first time I started talking about the Gods to you all. But anyway, yeah, this tree is just a swampy, glowy orbs. Have these been on other maps? Are these new assets? I'm not entirely sure. Have we seen these in the expansion already? But it turned out to be nothing special, really. And as far as I know, there's no event that comes here. There's no NPC that talks about the glowing. There's nothing. I mean, it's just for us to ponder it, I think. I might be wrong. What are the bones? I think the idea is that they could be Giganticus lupicus. That's what we would call them in Guild Wars 1. But nothing explicit. They're probably mostly here, frankly, to contribute to the awakened, undeady, you know, famished, starved, drought-ridden region of the world that we're in. They're slightly modified Quaggan lanterns, are they? In lore, I doubt they're supposed to be related to the Quaggan at all, right? Just a bit of ambience, I guess, then. Which is a shame. I hate it when I do something on a trailer speculation. I'm like, oh, this could be this, and then it's nothing. Because A, it lets you down. B, it makes me look like a moron. But hey, it will happen. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say about Bitterfly Bayou. We do have one of the cannons being built here, but I showed that off on the last stream, so we don't really have to worry too much. Yes, don't worry, Turtle Moji. We will look at the new Alone in Dog models. We will. Don't you worry. I think there's a mini that we can buy from those as well. What are my thoughts on the match against Sweden? As an English supporter, I was really comfortable and happy and secure and you know, thrilled with it. But it was probably a bit of a boring game. The biggest thing on my mind right now is, did we really play that well, or did Sweden just not do anything? I mean, it really... Sweden played that game, and I mean, no offense to the Vikings. Sweden really, it feels like watching Sweden there is how it usually feels to watch England. Like, just no possession, feels half-hearted. No gusto. Look too nervous. And just nothing manifests for 90 excruciating minutes and then it's over. That's how I usually feel it feels to watch England. But it was Sweden, so I don't know. That's how I felt. Oh, sorry, donations. Your message is ancient history. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's so strange to see a £5 donation and it's not Ewendell, it's Darg. I can't handle this salt. Can we get back to roller beetle racing? Not like this. What was that in reference to? What salt? I'm not being salty, am I? Is someone being salty? But thank you, man. That's really nice of you. Thank you. I got a Prime sub from Friendly Bobo there as well. Nosh for 22 months. Thanks so much. Everyone who remembered that Prime is a thing, you're a god. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I wouldn't really be able to do this if it wasn't for you guys doing that. So I really, really do appreciate it. Let me turn join squad off. We also had Kellerda32 who subbed today. You're awesome as well. Canada Turtle. And Nos42. Oh, and Bacon Asura. That's a fair few people, actually. We're only just really... It feels like we're only just getting started. I really do have to go, by the way. Kind of on time, which means we should finish Kourna. We should finish Kourna. All right. So the Veiled Runner Drifts. This featured, it felt fairly prominently on the trailer. It's a great playground for the Beetle. You can do lots of tricks. There's lots of bursting through the crystals with your boost. But getting the crystals feels really unrewarding because you just get a tiny bit of volatile magic, and most of us will be swimming in it. And I don't know. I'm not sure there's much more tangible to do in this very large section of Kourna. Now, here's some Choya. These Choya do look different. These are known as chromatic Choya. And I think that they're a new texture on the Choya we've seen in the game so far. There weren't chromatic ones before now. So, yeah, these are these. The meta's going on. We already did that on the previous stream, so we don't have to worry. They're off at the bridge at Bokos Island. And you can kind of just roll around, I should say, taking Choya out. These walls feel a lot like Dry Top to me. Just massive, enormous walls boxing you in. And look at the extent they have to go to now that we've got Springers and Griffins and stuff. So you really get that rectangle feel from this map as well. You'll spend a lot of time while trying to get your Beetle rolling around here, because this was where I got most stuck when you're getting all the tonics and stuff. There's like some hidden caches you've got to find, and there's quite a lot of distance to cover. Like, it just says near the Veiled Runner Drifts, and there's 2 of them. I think some of them were even further north. But yeah, I don't know whether there's anything else really to say here. There's no POIs. There's no lore books. One of the disappointments, I think, of this patch is they didn't do too much more with that UI after they fought so hard and did so much to get it in. Didn't really see much of it being utilized. Not seeing it being utilized how the expansion itself did with the cool voice-acted books and things, obviously, as well. So you can just roll around. There is this event, the Champion Sand Shark. I will kill this just because, hey, why not? We have a Zerg, so let's take it out. Not too dangerous, not too special or different. This guy can splice in and cross paths with one of the bounties on the map. So you find you can kill them both. Oh, this is the veteran. I'm a moron. I was wondering why I was dying so quick. I was like, okay, warrior's good, but not that good. All right, here it is, over here. We will overthrow our fleshy oppressors. What is this in relation to? So yeah, the Deepstone stream, I keep hearing was apparently good. And I did see some stuff about Kirsch apparently is being referenced in Deepstone. I didn't really pick up on that. Kirsch was the fascinating Asura stuck in the Valley of Tumbled Gods, who spent his life trying to research this strange cryptic clue. One of the more interesting Eye of the North narrative threads that may still pay off in a big way, that talked about the land undying and all that good juicy stuff. I'd like to think that pays off. I think it was Costage again, actually, who mentioned that Kirsch had a reference in episode 6 in Siren's Landing. So Kirsch mentioned in episode 6, Kirsch mentioned around now. It is one of the more fascinating things. Is the land unwaking as yet to see? Several people would speculate that just means ore, but maybe it means something more. Does robots still trigger WP's PTSD when his mic used to randomly die? Actually, no, it doesn't. I'm really happy that doesn't happen anymore, though. That was an annoying thing that used to plague the early streams. I'm surprised you know that, Dark. I think of you as sort of a newer face. WP, the 5 ancient races fought the Elder Dragons last time, right? Dwarves, Masat, Jotun, Forgotten, and Seers. But weren't the Forgotten brought to Tyria by the gods along with humans? So how could they have fought the Elder Dragons during the last rising? Did I miss something? Well, that's one of those things, I think, where it's like the interpretation of humans and what we believed things were. We know that the gods worked in tandem with the Forgotten to be sort of caretakers and shepherds of the world. And we definitely, there is something, I think in the manuscript, it talks about the Forgotten having arrived too. But it could be a mix and match. The Forgotten may be much like humans in that they came to Tyria at a different point, but then also came with the gods. And we know that the Forgotten and the gods interacted together in the platform of the mists, like we saw in the Realm of Torment. So there are any number of possibilities that mean both are true. But it's kind of one of those deep history things that it's like, what is the true story? I don't think we're really meant to fully know. A bit like how they handled the Jotun, you know. What really was the cause of the Jotun's downfall? Did the gods actually take magic from them and spread it out? You know, were they really condemned by the gods? You know, the whole idea of unrelatable narrators because it's been thousands of years is... I think this is another area where Guild Wars celebrates that. Not necessarily an inconsistency. Oh, it's Yundel. Did somebody say my name? £5 and 1 pence. So he's playing the trump card there on Darg, who now can feel inferior. Thank you very much, Yundel. That's very, very cool. It's good to see you, and I hope you've been having a good day. What else can I say about here? Well, I want to do the Quagged event, which spawns in one of these areas. It's not all the way over here, is it? I don't think it's all the way over here. It's not near that oasis. And a sub from Jerry1. Thank you very much, Jerry. People being quite generous today. Hi, I'm still playing Guild Wars 1 along with your LP, except I got stuck. I refuse to continue factions without a black mower. I want to get into all the Eye of the North lore, but you can't yet. Yeah, just do the mower after. It's designed for after, so... But it's really exciting. All right, here you go. Check it out. So, good job. So it's not up right now, but it will be very soon because all the Choya are already there. So we got a movement analyzer machine. And here, there's an Asura. Yeah, I don't have time to talk right now. Can you come back later?
I have an idea.
So he says Commander, because obviously I got the command tag, right, guys? And he says, I have an idea. I'm close to a breakthrough, Commander. You see the way those Choya are dancing? I've been studying it closely. I think it may be a form of non-verbal language. What makes you think that? It just looks like a dance to me. Certain moves are repeated in ways that follow rudimentary language patterns. I think each move may represent an entire idea rather than individual words. If we crack the pattern, we can communicate. And how do we crack the pattern? You can copy their dance moves, of course. I use a replication device to make you look like a Choya, and you go shake your tail with them. You must be joking. This is for linguistic integrity, Commander. If we have a chance to communicate with these beautiful creatures, don't you want to take it? That made me sad there. Literally, because when I think Choya and loving Choya, I think Peter Freeze. Because he as Path of Fire was coming out, he was so prominently like on that, oh my god, I love the Choya. And joking about them and enjoying them. And that man's just gone now. Anyway, so here you go. Fine, turn me into a Choya. Let's do it, baby. So you become a chromatic one. And we get 5 skills. Sway, clap, roar, hop, and spin. Now, this is what the tonic gives you. Each is a dance move. And what you want to do is come over to the Choya as they all waggle, waggle, waggle around. Watch the inner ring and copy what they do. So there they were hopping. So we press skill 4. And when you get it right, you hear a ding noise and a little light appears. And you can hear all my Zergs doing it as well. What I like to do, just for the roleplay, is toggle on walk and walk with the outer ring as I do it as well. So there, those guys are doing that. Woo! See? And once we do the move, we move back in. And now they're clapping, which is 2. And we do it with the outer ring. And now we go to the left. And they're hopping. You see? And we fit in perfectly. This one's roaring as well, I think. I missed the roar there. Here they're spinning. Woo! We got the 5 brand support during our dancing activities. This is legitimately one of the first things I did on the map. Oh, why does this guy get to be a yellow one? Oh, maybe you're not always chromatic. Or did he pop a highlight tonic? Oh, it's because he has the pumpkin gourd on. That's cool. And you just keep dancing, basically. We saw a similar event to this in episode 2 and episode 1. The episode 2 one had you dancing with like the Omicron in their outpost. I've never shown that on a stream or in a video, but it was a thing. But that had a progress bar that you were dealing with. This one is just... So this is sway. This one is just do stuff. So it's a bit weirdly implemented, this. I'm not really sure. And then we do this. Like how you can fail it or whatever. But there it is. Choya's specialization when? Well, that's going to be the dancer, which you can experience in Final Fantasy X-2, by the way. I have a good let's play on that. And this is the best thing about it. Once it's done, listen to this. Alright. Okay, there you go. So look, that's the quality entertainment you come to me for. Don't you lie. Not spooky at all. And then they all like just come up here and dance and then disappear. We obviously can then leave our transform. We can roll a beetle back down the hill. Oh, what? I had such... Oh my god, this is incredible speed. I'm actually moving at purple right now. Oh, okay, we hit a tree. My drifting isn't working. I think holding down... I don't know what that is. It's kind of strange. Anyway, the last thing you can do is then talk to the researcher. And see what he has to say. If anything. Yeah, the Asura has new dialogue. So then we come back. He says, oh, never mind. Well, I think he says probably something along the lines of, wow, what a fascinating discovery, thank you. Or if he's like any of the other Asura on this map, he's upset that his research hasn't led to anything worthwhile, which is kind of a sad thing, but there you go. All right, so let's move along. As we travel there, one thing to think about as you rocket through this map on a beetle is to put this in Guild Wars 1 terms. What you're watching right now is me traversing the entire length of what would essentially be an explorable map in a matter of seconds. Like literally the past 15 seconds of the stream since I started this speech is like we've traveled across an entire zone, which is like upwards of 20 minutes to an hour of content for the original game. Really, really fascinating to see how different the scale is now. But there you go. Right, so... with that done, what I want to do is go to the Arkjok farmlands. So named after Arkjok Ward, but not necessarily fully encompassing it, I think, from Guild Wars 1. We have a place where people are being thoroughly oppressed by Joko. Now, we will learn a lot more about these people and what they're up against when we do the story on the upcoming streams, the actual story. But there is nonetheless still stuff to do here. Let's start off by... Why is there a... Wow, what? It's a 10 rat. Really? Mutated rats killed. 9 out of 10. I've never done this event. I didn't know this existed. Okay. So there are rats to kill here. This will give us some heart progress. We're going to speak to the heart vendor, though, in a minute and see what we learn. Big eviscerate for the kill. Ah, almost. It'll fetch a nice... It's all right. You get the rats. Where is the heart dudes? There's a lot you can do to contribute with this heart that I actually really enjoy. Kill 10 rats in my Guild Wars 2. Yeah, I guess that event is a little bit of a reference to that trope, that idea. Obviously, we have the Ravius quest chain as well. Another loss for the community. Another sad thing on the social side of stuff. Wonder what Ravius would think of the events of today. Sorry, I'm going to bum people out really badly on this stream, aren't I? Right, I support your cause personally. Oh, wait, it's a lady. I support your cause personally, but you should know this community is divided. People are hungry and scared. The king's gone to ground and abandoned us. Our way of life is collapsing. So one thing I think Kourna really disappointed me a little bit is that it didn't really pay off on what the Order of Shadows suggested at the entrance of Vabi. The whole idea that these people love Joko, truly love Joko, and they can't just be saved by killing all of Joko's forces, that they would hate you for that. We didn't get enough of that from Kourna. But we didn't get much civilization in Kourna so far. And while the map is called the Domain of Kourna, there's still so much territory and lore we haven't seen that they could potentially give that to us. So I'm not too mad. But here we get a little bit of... Our way of life is collapsing. People sure are trying to... people are trying to get emergency food here. What's your supply situation? We keep finding the scarab plagues in our fields. We're almost out of fresh meat. What if all of our crops are contaminated? I can hunt some meat. Maybe there's a chance to save your crops too. So, one of the main things you can do is go to their crop fields, such as this one over here. And the story has you do a bit of this as well. And as you walk... I didn't realize this with the thing. But as you walk into the crops, you can discover if they're infected. So this one is. And it's phased, by the way. Really fascinating stuff going on mechanically with the game here. If these other players hit these crops, on their clients, they're seeing them break. On my client, I'm not. And I really want to talk to you guys about how that's a boundary that has been pushed for Guild Wars 2 here. We've not seen this MMO, this franchise, utilize this yet. We've seen phasing slowly build up and build up and build up in Guild Wars over... Living World Season 2 and beyond, really. To the point that not everything has to be done in instances anymore, such as we saw at release. And NPCs being phased, and NPC dialogue and written dialogue when you press F being phased is one thing. But we're getting full World of Warcraft, other MMO style phasing here with an enemy. Now, it's only with objects right now. But, I mean, anyone who's played other MMOs knows how much this is utilized by those other MMOs. This is a big push. What essentially is at work under the hood here is they could spawn, like, what we're heading towards is they can spawn a Hydra that you can see and fight, but no one else sees and no one else is fighting. Now, whether they go the full hog with that or not, I don't know. Have they resisted doing that because... they just find it unimmersive, or has it been under the hood stuff? But they're doing it here for objects now. They're doing it. And it is fascinating. If you saw a second ago, this thing had some Condi on it. It didn't die to the Condi, but it looks like other players can accidentally... like if a Necro just casted here, they could hurt my thing. Or, I mean, it's bizarre. It is... I wonder what the limits are. It's very, very strange. You might find that they use this with other stuff, though, later. And of course, I'm just now realizing as well, the point is no regular skills work on them anyway. They also force you to use the torch. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. So that's one thing. The other really cool thing about this mechanic, though, is not every crop is infested. If I walk into this, it doesn't shake. You don't see the scarabs come out, and it's not infected. So if I hit this with the torch... I don't think it really counts against you, but the point is there's actually a little bit more interaction than just spamming weapon skills. You're actually using your eyes to diagnose which crops are infected by rustling this stuff up. Now, what would be really cool is if, like, as a ranger, you could send your pet through these and the pet collision worked and minion collision. So, like, buildcraft started to affect a mechanic like this. Which is really quite fascinating. And in the story, you're asked to do this too, just to be clear. But what's very cool is in the story, there is a moment where a little girl who lives in this town mails you. And she says, hey, thanks for, you know, helping us with our food issue. Now, I was playing this co-op, and I just ran through Zerg burning everything, while the girl I was playing it with, she actually realized that it was a deeper mechanic. She actually used her brain and her eyes, and and only broke the infected crops. And that meant a difference in the story. It was really cool. When I got a mail from a little girl, she was like, thanks for trying to help. We don't really have much food, so here's an imaginary cake for you. Thank you. And that was it. But Kerry got a mail saying, hey, yeah, here's a fucking cake. Boom, enjoy. And she got mailed a cake from the NPC and actually got to pick up. Fairly inconsequential for the main thing, but that is the spice of RPG story branch and choice and dialogue variation to me. And I just thought it was really clever and a cool little part of the patch that maybe you guys didn't know about, because maybe, just like me, you just charged through burning everything. It doesn't mean you're an idiot if you did that, by the way. It's just because the game only ever teaches you to zerg through and burn everything. But it's nice to see that they're changing up. Anyway, that gave us most of the heart there. What else can we do? Well, we can recover supplies. So there are clusters of desert herbs. This is just gathering for me, right? Yeah. Have I heard of Little Debbie snack cakes? It rings a bell, but I'm not sure I fully know what that was. Do you want to fill me in? Killing rats gives you progress as well. Like, literally, just rats running around. That was a Corsair thing, so that's not that interesting or exciting to people. But, let's use a beetle burst to get up there. But what else do we have? Like there. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's what it is. You kill the rats, and in Corsair, you immediately get credit. In this outpost, you kill the rat, and it gives you an item in your inventory, rat meat. Which is cool. I think this is more interactive, a better way of doing the heart. The devs missed out on doing some of that awesome flavor text. Like, we got the launcher Path of Fire. They were really good with flavor text, and that seems to have disappeared again now. But, you know, that could have had a tiny little bit of information about how the Kournans view eating rat meat ever since the River of Elon was diverted and blah, 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 and that it's normal to them now or something. I don't know. You get opportunities, right? The clan marshal says you might have meat for us. I do. I just hope that people here aren't picky, and that gives you it as well for killing the rats and handing the meat in. I guess we also have this event, but I showed this off on yesterday's stream. Basically, an NPC leaves the village, comes over here, and tries to recover the stolen supplies. A bit of Joko propaganda here. So that's nice. What other, like, tangible dialogue do we get? I don't know how much these guys talk to one another, really. We will sit around and listen. There's a lot of dialogue here when the story is up. And I want to say something as well on that. Do we get credit for killing this vulture? I actually think that they've nailed it with this patch. As I wander around here on this stream right now, it might feel like there's not a lot going on. It doesn't feel like a living, breathing place. There's not a lot of people talking. But what I think the devs have very smartly done is they've actually have made it feel like a living, breathing place, but they've basically loaded all of that information and world building and like ambient dialogue into the story itself, the golden path for the story. And by doing that, they avoid what Corsair ran into all the time, which is that they had loads of quality and dialogue in Corsair, but because that only fires once every 10 minutes, and you've made your content so easy people zerg through in half a second, no one ever interfaces with it. But what they've done here on this episode of The Living World, and the other ones that I view as a major quality bump, is they've said, well, look, people come to the Domain of Kourna are gonna do the story, so let's just make sure it's all on the story instead of anywhere else. After this patch is done, they're not going to be coming back here. With Corsair, they might have had this weird, like, sort of iffy perspective that, oh, the entire game will have players all the time. The entire game is the game, not just level 80. There will always be people running around. There will always be incentive to be here. They may have had these weird ideas that they were actually going to figure out a proper leveling phase and all of that. And so then it's justifiable to do all the ambient dialogue in the way they did, because they might expect people to make lots of different characters and spend, you know, hours in Kessex. We don't live in that world, in that perspective anymore. The devs know now, let's face it, people are going to go to the Domain of Istan, they're going to do the story there, they're going to do one loop through the heart, possibly stay for the achievements, and they're gone and may never come back unless it's for a specific meta farm we've offered, like, say, at Palawadan, which has its own problems with adding ambient stuff because they're mostly enemies and stuff. But, you know, they figured that out. So what do you do? What's the correct tactic? Well, it's to throw all the dialogue in the story itself. And it becomes much more like a single-player RPG in that way. You know, what I'm essentially telling you, any fans of my other LPs that I've done, like, say, Final Fantasy X, I'm telling you that Palawa's benevolence is just as capable of feeling like a real place as, say, Besaid was in Final Fantasy X. We get all of that detail, that story, that time, that dialogue the first time there. We don't really look back. We can get a bit of extra information, but that's kind of it, you know? And I think that works. I think that's really solid. I think that's, like, everything about it is intelligently structured and understands how Guild Wars 2 works, and it's not wasted dev time. You know, it's actually efficient implementation. And that's one of the things that I'm always really critical of with Guild Wars, that they don't implement things efficiently and they don't get value for money out of what they put in the game. Here, I think they do, so I think it's all right.
Keeping my eyes peeled. It's touch and go here, Commander. Not gonna lie.
So, again, these NPCs we will get more dialogue from, but in the story as we do it coming up. I've been really bad with chat today, and I am sorry for that, guys. I know it's moving quite quick as well. I would love to be able to talk to you all, but I'm not sure whether it's realistic on days like this. So, I already talked about the fact that the Natuka didn't actually appear in the patch, right? And it was the Beetles, but you'd expect what the Beetle does to be like a Natuka capability. What do you guys think about a mount that, like another mount that breaks through walls? It's just associated with another map, because this is the only map where Beetle wall breaking is a thing. So we'll have Natuka wall breaking at another place. What do you guys think about that? Sounds a bit dirty, doesn't it? But it would also be a way to allow the player base to have more of that kind of gameplay, even though Living World isn't very well structured. Do you get what I mean? So, supplies here. Surely I don't get credit for taking supplies 2 inches along. No. Where's the supply depot on this? It's not all the way back at the central encampment, is it? That's not to do... Maybe it is, actually. I need more rats. This is a bit annoying. They could get... Oh, giving an existing mount the shatter wall thing as well. I think that's a really bad idea. I think that discredits the idea of the mastery system. I mean, both do, really, but... I don't like it, but we still get to use the mount everywhere, so I'd say it's an even compromise. Do you know what? I would pay. I would actually pay. I mean, they'd get a lot of shit for this, so it's not realistic. But I would genuinely pay for a patch that added looked at all the existing masteries and added opportunities for them all over Corsair. I really would. Give me a Beetle break wall in Drytop. Give me a Beetle break wall in Caledon. You know this thing where you're supposed to throw the boulder to get into the mini dungeon wherever it is? Up here, I think. Just let me break through it with a Beetle if I've got Path of Fire and I've gone that far. Give me a Beetle break wall that gives me a secret exit to the Sharkmoor Caverns. Go back. Give me the patch. Do it. That's where the mastery system will start being really good. And they really are only one very good patch like that away. Updating existing content is greater than new content. I'm in that camp. Most people aren't, but I'm in it. Maybe I should do a video essay on that, you know. Maybe I should do a discussion on, okay, let's seriously talk about this philosophy, that they can only do new stuff. Let's talk about how it holds them back. Let's talk about whether it's reasonable anymore. Let's see how many people really would hate it to see old content return. You know, like Living World Season 1, this, that, and the other thing. I'm so lost right. This is terrible. I just need one rat. One rat. Come on, baby. Unless I killed one a second ago and I have the meat and I didn't realize. No, no, no. We need one rat. Oh, there's mutated rats have respawned. Okay. Was there any dialogue to start off with this? I didn't see it if there was. That's sort of the dream for Axe right there. Getting you multi-target 5. I'm going to chance a full counter. I was a second late. I did get double glancing blowed right as I pressed the button. Could have been NA ping that denied me that. 7 out of 10. Last one's over here. Oh, that was amazing. I got the on the bunny after I threw my thing. Oh, there's a rat. There's a rat. There's a rat. Sweet. 10 rat is over here. Finish this. Voila. I guess I didn't need that last bit of rat meat, and I'm going to get rid of it because I don't know when I'll next do this heart. So, yeah, we get that. Thank you, Commander. You've helped me ease food anxiety and take the pressure off our community. And I always speak for most Kournans when I say that I wish you and your allies well in your efforts here. Clan Marshal Saner. It just occurred to me as well that we've got a lot of cool streams we can do on all the new collections and achievements, going back through ore and doing that. So there'll be lots of squad-related Zergy things we can do today. Over the next couple of streams, it'll be pretty good. Thank you, Commander. We're still in a very tough situation here. But you've eased tensions in our community for now. Glad to pitch in. What do you got? Okay, Debbie's Cakes. Made with love grants a small amount of karma when consumed. Oh! So hold on. We get daily karma from this heart. Wow, the structure of that is crazy. Acquired and ate Debbie's Cakes. Oh my god, and I need to do that 3 days? T2 is only 10. Purge infected crops. Wow. That's an interesting mechanic. Hold on, though. It's barely any karma they give me. I may as well just kill a couple of mobs for karmic retribution. I mean, look at this. I earned 6,500 just wandering around. Inscribed shards. Okay, so look at this. There are 2 minis here. Well, first of all, the Kourna pendant. This pendant was used to identify high-ranking military officers before the Kourna province fell to Palawa Joko. Kourna pendants were one of this region's quest reward items. So Nightfall introduced what was a new feature for the franchise at a time, which was that while in Kourna, if you did side quests, you got experience, you got gold, but then you also got an item, and those items you'd gather up for doing as many side quests as possible, and you could trade in with these guys called quartermasters, and they'd give you great adventuring supplies. Identification kits, not a mechanic anymore since the game's been streamlined so much. Salvaging kits, not really a mechanic relevant for Guild Wars 2 either, with copper feds and gem store compromises and all that kind of stuff. But you could get those, you could get experience scrolls, exploration stuff, you know, just general thing, and even weapons, I think. So you would get those items from Kourna, and then when you went to Vabi, it would be the same again, except a different thing. You'd get like Vabian items for doing those side quests, and you trade them in with quartermasters, and the wares might be slightly different. So a little bit like how dungeon currencies work in specific dungeons of Guild Wars 2, except they were region-wide. The item for Kourna, if you did Kourna side quests, were Kourna pendants, and you like to collect them. And so this put a smile on my face as a Guild Wars 1 fan. The icon looks very different in Guild Wars 2, a lot flashier. But a Kourna pendant, and we got a little bit more lore about them, which I think is kind of nice. There's also the Gandharan badge. This badge signifies a defender of the Moon Fortress at Gandhara. I don't really remember those from Guild Wars 1, but they could have been a thing. And Kourna bands, which also were drops. If you killed Kourna soldiers in Guild Wars 1, these were salvage items that you got off of them. So obviously we're not really fighting Kourna military or anything in Guild Wars 2. That's not what it's about. But it's a big part of this region of the world in Nightfall. And through these exotics, the devs have kind of got to reinfuse those odd drops into the experience here. And I really like that as a Guild Wars 1 fan. Something you guys might have missed out on. Other stuff's boring. Now finally we got the minis. We got, am I saying this correct? We got a mini Basenji. So I don't know much about dogs, but yeah, this is a breed of dog apparently. So this is one Basenji, and then you've also got the Brindle Basenji. They are minis available on this map, just like the Chromatic Ooze is available on this map. And why? Because you will find Basenji wandering around Kourna. This stuff's great. Don't let anyone, like, kick under the rug how cool this is. The fact that they're adding new varieties of creatures and things with the patches, that's awesome. That's what you want. How do I express this? If Living World is going to work as a way of unlocking new areas of the world, you have to find new things in those areas of the world. When I go to Kourna, I don't want to see the same assets we already experienced here, just sort of reshuffled around, right? I don't want that. Like, and I know that the environment artists, by and large, will do that. They'll tweak existing assets and try to create a new experience. But you want real, tangible, new creatures, new things to find, new enemies entirely, and new experiences. And that's what we get with the Basenji. So I'm super happy with that. I think that episode 2 did way better of this season, to be fair, with the new stuff. I mean, this was just so chock full of incredible things. Especially mechanically incredible things, like with the conveyor belts and all that. But still, we got the Basenji here. Here you go. Here's one. And I think it's pretty great. Elonian hunting dogs. I don't know what their real-world analogs really are and, like, how they're treated. I'm guessing they're from regions of the world that have similar climates to this. And, yeah, it's just another cool thing. You know, you hear me say all the time online, this season has been an uptick. Path of Fire has been an uptick in quality. Listen, that's what I mean by quality. That's what I mean by effort. You didn't see that in every patch of Season 3. You didn't see that in every... well, certainly not Season goddamn 1. Maybe Season 2, it's fair, but they didn't add very much in Season 2. So anyway, my point is, this all falls down if they don't add stuff like the Basenji. The Basenji itself might be boring, but that gives me some comfort that when we go to the Sulphurous Wastes again, if we do, or when we go to the Isna Isles, we'll see cool shit there. When I go to the Isna Isles, there's a chance I might find a new form of bottlenose dolphin that's never appeared on any other patch, with like those beautiful animations as they pop out. I might find some really exotic, awesome Hawaiian beach style asset that nonetheless I've never seen anywhere in Guild Wars before. There's excitement to be had in further reaches of the world being traveled to. We don't just have to wait for an expansion to give us that. Yeah? Okay, good. All of that said, the patch did let me down a bit because Gandara was not as thrilling as I wanted it to be. But we'd already talked a lot about Gandara, and I think that's sort of its own encompassed issue. But I'm talking more in terms of environment, art, and resources and stuff for Gandara. Gandara, I think, could have been a much bigger highlight than it was in the end, visually. But, I mean, it takes center stage, and a big story beat happens there, so maybe it's all right. And, with that said... I think we did it. Oh, no, now we got the Corsairs. So we've got one more area corner to look at now. We've done everything, guys. Oh, I didn't go to Yolan Bluffs. So Yolan Bluffs is quite interesting because the Yolan Haven we may recognize from Guild Wars 1. I haven't been down here in Vabi just yet. But the fact that it's called the Yolan Bluffs, maybe one day they'll do a thing. Oh, there's also the adventures. We've got the Griffin experts to do. I'll do a Griffin expert next, actually, then. I've never done these, so I'm quite excited to do them. That's a bit annoying that we just did all of that to move on the Beetle, and now we're going to go all the way back up. Yeah, let's do the Griffin adventure. This is going to be hype. I haven't done one of these yet. Talking about phasing earlier. On a future map, PT could be phased alongside Goric for players that didn't unlock him in Kourna, and they could temporarily rent him. I think renting is a bad idea for... Oh, but then renting could allow them to do wall breaking. But it's like, what's the point of the mastery system if you're just going to backdoor it with a renting system at a later date? I don't know about that. But the just general idea that PT could be with Goric, 10 out of 10. That's a cool thought, man. Yeah, the Griffin races are good. I'm a big fan of the Griffin races. A big fan, so... I've been looking forward to doing it blind on stream with you guys. I think all of the ones this season I've done blind on stream with you. WP, listen to the all-wise Ewendal. They've already done enemy phasing with treasure mushrooms. No, I don't know whether that's really fair. That's a mastery that strips stealth. But the treasure mushroom is there for people who don't have the mastery. If you don't have treasure mushroom mastery, you can auto-attack where a friend tells you the mushroom is, and you'll go in combat. That's why they're so tanky. Because they know that people without the mastery could accidentally kill them otherwise. So, I don't know whether that's really fair. That's literally a mastery that toggles a thing on your account that removes stealth. I'm not sure it's full thingy. Yeah, and it's the same mushroom. I think the crops are a little bit different in the way that the animation changes and stuff after they've been broken. Maybe I am sort of blown it out of proportion a little bit. So what we got? Daily, no one's done this. Is that a joke? Nobody's done this daily? Dead game? Let's see. I'm going to take it easy. You guys know I normally go way too try hard on these and restart about 1,000,000 times. I should have boosted there. I need to remember my new keybinds. Oh, shit. We're going this way. It's all downhill here. This is the last one already. I forgot again. I'm pressing the wrong keybind. Now that I've changed my keybinds with the Beetle, my muscle memory is going to be all off. We can try again. I will boost this time. Ready? Ah, that was bad. You know, I really feel like ArenaNet have got the chops to do a great racing game. Look at all the talent that's gone into the Beetle and the Griffin races, right? Can you imagine? Like, they'd be so good at it. Oh, no. This is horrendous. This feels so horrible. Oh, I'm so bad at this right now. It's because it's 4 buttons to remember and press. Oh, God. Right, let's try again. This one's boost. We need to go down very quickly on this. Oh my god, I hit the thing. Hold on, let me just wait 1 second, guys. Because I need to practice actually just going. Can you please? Oh, I sort of cheesily did that. So, let me just practice it. And this should take me up, right? Yeah, it did take me up. Okay, good. Alright, let's try again. I do love doing the races in these. There we go. We'll do the boost a little bit early on that one. God, the cornering feels... Oh, no, I raised too high, too early. Too early, too early, too early. I conditioned myself so much there to want to... Oh, wait, what? Oh. Yeah, okay. Alright, go. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I think that's a little bit better. I'm not really using the endurance from the first... There you go. This is good. This is good. This is good. Up. I'm not going to go up again. I'm just going to go as direct as possible. Right into the bottom. 46th best of the day. We got gold first time again by over 10 seconds. I'm still not over that. I'm still not over their philosophies behind what gold should be behind. But there you go. I mean, what's the point, ArenaNet? Just give me one. Remove the mechanics. Just give me one chest that throws greens and blues in my face. Like, they boil all the flavor out of their game by catering to certain... Anyway. All right. That was cool. That was only expert, right? Which is lower than master. So the master one's over here. This is the really cool one. So let's see. By the way, one thing you guys might not have thought about with Beetle, I don't think I've talked about it in a video yet, but you can write... Oh, no, I did talk about it in a video. Never mind. But the idea of transitioning from a Beetle jump out to your person onto the Griffin as a thing. So I'm guessing we're going to have to climb quite a lot on this one, so let's see what we got. The Griffin Master Gold is worthy of its title. Cossage, oof, that makes me sad to hear. What does? Really? They did something in Season 3 where you got the Unbound Magic Gatherer as a part of the story, but if you miss Bloodstone Fen, you have to buy it. They could do something similar with the Beetle, maybe not achieve... That's true. I remember, actually. I remember that backdoor. Good point. That's becoming quite an obscure little trivia and moment for the game now, actually, looking back. I wonder if they're trying to avoid situations like that again. The Master one is really up high, is it? Okay. Some of those Vabby Master ones were awesome. Look, go back to Corsair, add mastery opportunities for everything there, and give me, like, 2 Beetle courses. I want a Master and an Expert Beetle course, and a Griffin Expert and a Master course on every map. Go. Do it. Yes, I know I'm asking for over 100 individual adventures there, at least. Do it. Hurry up now. Hurry up or I refuse to pay any more gems. Give me a second. I'm going to make a Reddit thread. We'll get a lot of upvotes on it. And Mo will force it to happen. Genius. Right, guys? Oh, God. It's going to be brilliant the next decade or so. All I have to do is get a big enough audience to just upvote for things for me. And I can make any change I like. Oh, the utopia, guys. The utopia. Let's do it. For me, I mean. You guys are just a commodity. Sorry, but there you go. Okay. Wow, this is really far away. This is awesome. Want to get down below those clouds because I don't quite know. Is it going to turn me around again now? I feel like... Oh, no, it's not. No, what? I didn't hit that. That's... The collision on that was off. Fine. Put that on hitbox porn. Oh, we clipped that beautifully. We want to get to the very top of this because I don't really want to raise too much. We got it. Good. This way we haven't compromised on any of our speed. If I took a straighter line here, this could have been pretty good. Wrong button! Oh, you wanker! Oh! Stupid muscle memory. Why, you know, flap? Every time you flap, it slows you down slightly. Let me get the camera right. I don't want to compromise it. I did that so expertly. I'm doing the thing where I'm trying to min-max unnecessarily. No, we missed that. Let's try again. I have to sort my PC out. The frames are going down. I mean, it could genuinely be the heat wave, but still, really. Come on, come on, come on. Good, 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 good. Okay, and now just a little bit. That was overcompensation there. I have to flap. That's annoying. That's really annoying. Oh, well. Okay, get the right button this time. Oh. Wow. Oh, it's actually quite tight then. Because... Look at how high that guy is. Did I really go that low? I got no speed. How did I lose all my speed? I don't understand that. I must have hit something. I must have hit something. Surely. Should I boost down into this, do you think? Again. No. I'm not happy with it again. That was bad. I'm not going to boost into that second one. You do have to flap in this one. There's no chance to do it without. Oh, do I just not know how the Griffin works then? I thought flapping slowed you down and you could regain all of your height again afterwards. Oh, this is so annoying. I keep pressing the wrong button to raise. Oh. Okay. I don't mean to frustrate you all. We'll have this done. Don't worry. I still think the Vavi ones were better, but we'll see. I won't judge it till I know. You can still regain your height even after flapping. Maybe I don't understand how the Griffin works then. I honestly thought the point was to flap as little as possible. Here, certainly I don't need to flap, right? Should I be flapping now? This looks good. I don't want to flap. I feel like flapping's going to be a really bad idea. Where's the next one going to be? Left or right? Down. Oh, God. This is going to be bad. This is not the last one. Going up. They want me behind. Oh, I was supposed to go under the bridge. That could have been a really good time, but I didn't know the course. Okay, and now, yeah, definite flappage wanted there. Just a little bit. If we can get into the bottom there. All right, well, we missed gold. Okay, we missed gold. I did honestly waste about 5 seconds. I'm happy that they did that, though. It looks like they do still respect gold a little bit on the master ones. Okay, now that I know that it's under the bridge... Well, actually, who am I kidding? I don't have muscle memory for it just yet. Okay. I'm going to try and go really direct here. Yeah, gold means something. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay, the bridge is so... Hold on, let me... Let me try that. That's alright, I think. We have to be careful not to go too low, though. There's some tar there, so... I'm going to sacrifice just a little bit of speed on that. Well, I missed gold again. Oh, no, I didn't miss gold again. I didn't miss gold again. That's all right. That timing's all right. What they called gold there should be like bronze. And then silver should be like another 10 minutes of practice. And gold should be a bit better. What I basically want is ArenaNet to treat bronze, silver, gold like Naughty Dog did with their relics in Crash Bandicoot. That would be so hype. They should be like the best developer times is gold. Average good player times is silver. And sort of mediocre players is bronze. Oh, you got the Griffin Mini after doing thousands of adventure chests. Congrats, man. That's awesome. That one's really rare, right? And non-tradable, if I remember correctly. Basically, no one has it on Wiki, correct? That's great. Okay, cool. Interesting to get a feel for quick Griffin movement again as well. As opposed to the Beetle. Griffin probably feels like far and away better, but remember all the time it took us to get onto this perch. So what we're going to do is fly to the Corsairs now. Interesting to me that we still don't have any like real flying combat stuff. Back when Bloodstone Fen came out, it seemed like the devs were really interested in it. And then the Griffin with Path of Fire felt like it might be the start of a renewed approach. But stealthing while gliding and using Bloodstone magic seems to be about as far as they pushed it. So, we can go this way. Look at that. Look at that on the map, how fast you move. We did this heart before. That was the one where we had the spies. Now we're at the western front. And so, yeah, this is the Gandhara approach. This is where we were with the water. This is where we talked about the assaults. We talked about all the ways that the meta was lacking. But if we land down here, you will see that there are lots of allied forces fighting Awakened here. Primeval Ghosts, which are explained by the story, we'll get to tomorrow. The Oma clan are here. And as we look down here, we've got some stuff going on. So there are messages in the bottle. Drowned Corsair's message, bring these to the Archivist. And we also get supplies. Which, interestingly, they give us a leap and rush now on this. It's like the movement has power crept to a point where it's not okay to just give people free swiftness, that we have to have leaps as well. But, okay, so we can give the Archivist the messages and bottles. Yar, the wind Joko, the seas, meat piles, sunk the scimitar. Yar, they send some good sails to meet Grenth, old Davy Jones. If you find any of their last words in balls, bring 'em here. I'll see them home to your friends and family. Okay, here, deliver these to their loved ones. These people dead. There you go. Here we can put the Corsair supplies in the box. No, rip. I take the supplies out of the box, apparently. Shoot supplies to your allies with the cannons. Oh, yeah, I remember. Have you read the messages? Can I double-click them to read them? I wasn't aware that was a thing. What's going on here? What's this? Covered in scarabs. Oh, wow. That's an interesting debuff. Creepy. Okay. Where are the cannons? Let me fire. Are they back at the thing? All right, guys. You don't have to tell me how to do the voice better for the pirates. I don't come down to where you work and slap the dick out of your mouth. There's a Bob Oden quote. You guys do a better accent. They're really close, are they? Do the rest of the stream in that voice. I guess we'll just move out. And well, let me talk to these people. Let me just come back over here. Quartermaster Akina. We're doing our best to hold this beachhead and keep your supplies coming. But the enemy knows we're here and what we're up to. They always manage to sink the scimitar. You Corsairs are risking your lives on the shore. We knew what we were in for, agreeing this. Still, if you could oblige us by running over Joko's scabs with that mount of yours, we'd sure appreciate it. I'll see what I can do to give you more breathing room. So I think I basically auto-finished this one when I first played because kill credit is extremely worthwhile here, and there's just chaos going on always. There is a back to the cave here. This is kind of all stuff. Did I mention this on the last one where we were talking about Gandara and how it feels like there's a whole front to the Gandara that never became anything? Now, this goes quite deep. There's quite a lot here. This would have been a cool beetle wall to break here as well, but the devs never did anything with this in the end. Most unfortunate, but there it is. Oh, I did get 2 donations. Eundel went in a competition with Darg. So Darg responded with £1 and said, can't donate 2 pence. So here you go. Eundel, don't you dare. Thank you very much. Waffle Cakes MMM. Hey WP, what build do you use in SPVP? I've been trying to use SD Weaver and looking for fresh wooden potatoes build. Much love, can be any class. The most recent thing I tried was a power scourge, and it went horrendously. It was really bad. And I got a bit put off and haven't PvP'd since. It was just so awful. Like, really one of the worst builds that I've tried for a long time. Weaver, as I've shown it off on Game of the Day, exactly as it was built on Game of the Day, can be okay. But, so can I read this? Oh, I can. Look, look, look. Niori. I'm probably not coming home. Flotilla under attack. Scimitar taking on water. Not much time left. Never told you how I felt. You already knew. We'll never forget what you did for me. We'll think of you at the end. I'm thinking about you now. Wow. Wow, that's cool. And grim and sad and really awesome. Damn. Something about that always gets to me, the thought of someone in peril thinking about, you know, their loved ones at the end. Crazy. Do I get lots of different lore, or does it RNG it? What's the... Oh, this is cool. Hello. So hold on. If the game can stop trying to kill me while I immerse myself. Thank you, Eundel, for the £1. I don't know how to feel about this. I feel like I'm profiting off of your competition. Oh, so that's why news media puts people in little categories and makes them fight. It's because we profit off of it. Fight! Fight! Dog, he insulted you, Eundel. He insulted you. And vice versa. There you go. Excellent. What? Let me read that thing. Is it going to RNG it again? No, it doesn't. How does this work then? I'm not a message in a bottle type, but I got a real sense that something's bad's about to happen to us. Swell of the sea feels off. Hairs on the back of my neck standing up. Oh, and we're sailing for Gandara to test ourselves against the Lich. Oh, I love how he's just referred to as the Lich. We got a lot to talk about the story coming up on later streams. So I guess it's a little more than a hunch. I got no family or friends short of my mates aboard that should have been short of me mates aboard the Scimitar, so I got nobody to say goodbye to. Instead of any heartfelt stuff, I got a warning for whoever finds this. It's all bad, all over. It's getting worse, and in the end, it will take us all. Don't waste what little time you got left taking orders from idiots. Wow. This is really quite good. How many are there? Drowned Corsair's message again. Well, no, that's the same one there. That's the same one again. Did I ever check the epilogue? No, no, no. I'm doing it on stream. It hasn't been spoiled, and I'm going to do it on stream. So far, so good. You know, you put out a major risk every time you mention that. Let's pick up 2 more and see. Oh. Is it just 2? Mirai, there's not enough time to beg for your forgiveness, and I don't deserve it anyway. I should have been better. Somehow that one doesn't feel as profound after it's essentially going for the same angle as the other one, which might be a bit unfair. The DOF looks so good on that ship back there. It's becoming a bit of a stream catchphrase for me, just admiring the reshade. Last time for this copy paste, but I really want to know, WP, how much bigger does Kourna feel compared to Bloodstone Fen? Good question. About 33 to 40% bigger. Which, I say in full appreciation and understanding of how Bloodstone felt kind of small, but then it did have the underground areas. I would say about 33 to 40% bigger. And I also say that in full understanding of the fact that Kourna is this size on the world map, while Bloodstone Fen is this. Okay? Which is enormous. You could fit about 20 Bloodstone Fens into this map. And yet this map only feels about 30 to 40% bigger to me. I don't say that to ArenaNet's credit or discredit. It's just how that feels. I'm about to drown and I can't think of anything to say or anybody to write to. My head's spinning. I'm panicking. Remember me. Just remember me. This is really grim. And I'm reading this on the back. I'm going to talk about something very serious here and fairly disturbing. I'm not going to talk about this in a wry way. I'm not doing this in a jokey way. I'm talking about this because it was something I saw quite recently and really affected me. So if you have a bit of a weak constitution, maybe tune out just for a second. It's not gory necessarily, but it is really messed up. And if you're the type to hear about something, you might get curious to find it and blah, 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 blah. This person, a man dying as he writes a message, I can't remember what I was reading about on Reddit, but there's a really messed up document online that someone was basically live blogging as they commit suicide. And they were writing out all their experiences after, like, they'd taken a knife to themselves. It's unbelievable. One of the most shocking, incredible, like, pieces of literature I've read in my adult life. Really, really, like, rocks you to your core. It's kind of waffly and long and stuff, but, you know, this is an anguished human being in a crazy scenario. And then to see this in Guild Wars, it's very, very kind of like, Jesus, they're basically going for something similar. A guy trying to present a stream of consciousness as he loses it for the last time. It's, oh, jeez. Grim stuff. Let's keep going. Well, I don't know. I'll go to Wiki now, I guess, because I don't know how many there are. That's the only problem with the way they've done this. It's not like there's no collection to have read all of them. There's none of that really going on. And they don't seem to wash up further over here. I'll hand them in, which will give us some heart progress, and then I'll kill stuff with the Zerg to finish it off. We'll read the thing, and then we'll go to Wiki and see the last messages in a bottle. And yeah, I think that'll be the stream. I think that the Russia game just kicked off as well, so having just realized that, I suddenly want to watch and see how that goes. So let's go to the Archivist. Good, that's about 50%. Let's get on the Roller Beetle. That's good though. No more collections to just read every dialogue option. That's a reasonable way of thinking about it. I'm still on board with collections personally. I think it's a good way to ensure people see stuff at least once. You know, if I was ArenaNet and I could put a collection on every bit of every bit of ambient dialogue in Corsair, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Because I think it would be a beautiful thing that made people realize how much depth there is to this game. Even if it would also encourage a lot of standing around. But I also don't think standing around is inherently bad in MMOs. I think that feeds the social side of the game. Back to the big controversy and stuff and the idea of mob justice and all of that. Here's a thought that someone left me with in one of the comment sections, maybe on Reddit or something, but at some point, which I found really fascinating. Just think about this for a second. Let's propose this, okay? That mob justice is bad and developers shouldn't be kowtowed by masses of players that may not even be their true fan base, right? Maybe let's just for a second, I know that there's a debate in that, but let's just for a second assume that that's true, that developers shouldn't be kowtowed by that stuff. What if I gave you the statement or the suggestion that it's different for MMOs, that of all video game genres, MMOs are more beholden to their consumers than any other, because having some unity and happiness in the community and placating the community and making them feel loved by bowing to their every wish is really important to an MMO. Because if everyone hates the devs of an MMO, that snark proliferates, spreads throughout, and you know the community is the lifeblood of an MMO more than any other game, and so more than any other genre, the mob does get what it wants specifically for an MMO. And I've never really thought about it that way, but what do you guys think about that? Are MMOs more than any other game beholden? Should devs actually be listening, even if in your gut you don't like the idea, maybe you think it's fair when it comes to an MMO? And that was an interesting thing that I hadn't thought about at all, but came out of the video. Kind of a curious, I mean, it's just such an intangible, difficult thing to be pragmatic about and like understand how your community really affects things. I wish I still knew more about RuneScape and Jagex and stuff, because they seem to get a lot of hate sometimes and a lot of love other times, and it's sort of this weird situation. All right, I see how you earned Cap and Sly's respect. You're the sort that sees value in a scheme like Gentic, shooting salvage supplies across a battlefield to feed your hungry soldiers. You've got an open mind and a steady aim, Commander. Best of luck ridding us of that bonebag Joko. Quartermaster Akina. And so that's the last heart, the last stuff for us to get from it. You said you'd take some pressure off us, and that you did. We get some inscribed shards. Now you get a sloop. This is cool. And again, as I mentioned with the Gandara thing, really feels like they're going to have moving ships and stuff a part of the meta, and it never became a thing. There's also a cannon in a box, so I think this is the second time this season's done it. This is like Fire Elemental Powder or a Jade Ally. Double click to summon a portable cannon to aid you in your current fight. It can only be used once every 30 minutes. It takes 3 inscribed shards. I'm sure someone's done a good video on this, but I haven't seen it yet, actually. There you go. So it summons a freaking cannon, guys. Check it out. You have an active cannon. You cannot use this item again. I don't think it's stacked with other AI, but you can pick it up and redeploy it. And this is essentially the engineer's old mortar, except now every class can get it. The range and capabilities will be a bit different. I'm curious how this benches. I'm curious how it benches compared to other assistance items. I'd really like to see someone do the numbers on that at some point. I know I'm a bit judgy of people who spend all their time benchmarking things, but I'd be really interested in that. I'll show you how it works. This can be used in fractals, but nowhere else really of note. But yeah, there you go. There's your cannon. I don't know how it scales off your stats and whatnot. It is an object after all. It might suffer for its precision. It can be a way of getting access of instant weapon swap, by the way. In fact, if I press F and E... Oh, did they despawn it? Did I despawn it? Interesting. There's lots of ways to break the game with stuff like that, so maybe they fixed that. Hopefully they would have. I think Ranger had a significant thing for a while with one of the tonics. Maybe they've hit internal cooldowns where they had to, though. So, what was that lore? The drowned note? Drowned message or something? Let's see. Well, let me just search the name of... for God's sake. Corsair landing. I'm just going to wiki Corsair landing. Wiki Corsair land. Oh, wait. I'll type /wiki in game, and then I will just shift click the heart icon. Okay, except my keyboard's being weird. Whatever. Fine. I'll just go to wiki normally. Corsair landing. Secure the supply line. Corsair archivist. Drowned Corsair message. Oh, it's not on wiki. People don't know yet. It's a stub. It's not been compiled. Interesting. I don't even know if you can shift click them. I can't shift click anything right now though. And Arene comes down here, by the way, as well. That's Arene, as you can see. Adolescent dragon, break bar, all that. And she fights. She's phased as well, I think, in the way she works and moves around. I think. Yeah, the page is empty. I guess no one's compiled it yet. I will keep a close eye on that then. I'm sure that everyone's hard at work doing that. Drink something, WP. Yeah, thank you, actually. My throat is really sore. No, Ben, I know I wasn't shift clicking the minimap, but it was reacting as though I was because my keyboard's being weird and thinks that shift is held down when it wasn't, which is why I gave up. Don't worry, I know how to use the UI.
Refreshing.
Alright, there you go, guys. That's going to be it. And we're going to have quite an unceremonious, very quick departure from the stream here because I did want to get and watch the football. I just want to say, though, honestly, these kind of controversial videos and stuff, sometimes you can get quite nervy about them. Sometimes you can be quite worried. And yes, I've had to moderate a bit. Not early, not when it was the big fans that were coming in, but that I have a bit. And I'm sure after this stream I have to. But I have to say, amazingly, I'm really invigorated by everything that we've been able to talk about. All of you guys that have come to the stream, I really feel very invigorated. Maybe I'm just talking shite and I'm not adding anything of worth. But I don't know, I feel good. And that's nearly entirely due to your response. So thanks, everyone. Really, genuinely. You've all been super cool. And I'm sure it's because we're all pretty just generally bummed out by what happened and the situation we're in. But there you have it. So thanks, guys. Enjoy the footy. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, for the story itself, where we'll see some pretty major things. I know a lot of you are desperate for me to cover the story as quickly as possible. Well, it's through these streams that you will get it. Cheers, guys. Take it easy. Old orange hand Natalie will be back soon.